Daily Baseball Report. I'm Coach Matt coming at you with another video. If you've never been here before, this is the Daily Baseball Report. We are going to go over everything. Today, we're going to go over trades specifically, but we're going to go over trades, we're going to go over injuries, we're going to go over rules and regulations and things that are going on because that seems to be a big topic this year especially. We're going to talk about different teams, we're going to talk about the games that happen every day. So there's going to be a lot of things going on here on this channel. So if you like that kind of content, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything, and of course, smash the like button if you like the videos. So, some housekeeping notes to get started. Crystal and I will be attending Citi Field on August the 14th to see our Los Angeles Dodgers play the New York Mets. My older brother Greg is a big-time Mets fan. He grew up in the 80s, obviously with the Darryl Strawberry, the Doc Goodens, and, obviously, with all the brawls and the fights, he's just kind of drawn to that team. So, good for him. Wonderful. But let's go Dodgers. Okay, second piece of housekeeping is, if we reach 250 subscribers by the end of the regular season, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give away a 1-month training plan and nutrition guidance to a single individual. I'll have a little bit more details on that. I'll do a video when we reach 250. I have a feeling we'll reach it. We're like 70 or so subscribers away. So we should reach that by the end of the year. At least I would like to. I'm going to be a little bit more consistent with my uploads. I apologize last month. It was just a little bit crazy. But this month, my schedule's all lined up. We're good to go. I'll be able to post almost every single day. So, with that being said, today we're going to go over all the trades that happened in the MLB trade deadline 2021. It was a massive year. Most trades since the middle of the 1980s. Actually, 1986, the year the Mets went to the World Series and won. They beat the Boston Red Sox, I recall. That was the Bill Buckner missed through the glove at first base, through the bag in Game 6, and they won Game 7. I think that was that year, right? Let me know, Greg. I don't know if that was actually the year or not, but let me know. Okay, so there's a lot of trades to go over, so I'm just gonna kind of go over it. And obviously, the very first one we're gonna go over is the big one. The Dodgers traded Keibert Ruiz, Josiah Gray, Gerardo Carrillo, and Donovan Casey for Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. This was a blockbuster deal. The trade of the year. Without a doubt, there's no bigger trade. Max Scherzer, 3-time Cy Young Award winner. He's got like 2,800 strikeouts, something crazy like that. Trey Turner is top 5 in sprint speed. He's a very, very athletic athlete. He's like second or third in stolen bases. He hits left-hand pitching very well, something the Dodgers desperately need. This is, in my opinion, this is an A trade. Like, without a doubt, this is an A. Yes, we gave up the switch-hitting Keibert Ruiz. Hopefully doesn't bite us in the butt later on in our time playing the Washington Nationals. And we also gave up Josiah Gray. He is one of our top prospects. So, Josiah Gray is literally a fastball, change-up pitcher. He's a strike thrower. He's a great pitcher. Sadly, doesn't have a third pitch. So once he develops a third pitch, he's going to be pretty lethal. But other than that, I think this is an A trade for the Dodgers. I think this is a good trade for the Nationals. We gave them 4 prospects. 2 of them are Major League ready. The other 2 are very close. One's single A, one's double A. So, I mean, not very close, but close. You're a pro player. You're going to be close. So, in my opinion, this is an A trade for both teams. The Nationals dump salary. They get new, fresh prospects into their system. This is a good trade. The next trade is Kris Bryant to the San Francisco Giants. The Chicago Cubs received Alexander Canario and Caleb Killian. Both of those are minor leaguers, and they're both pretty high. I think it was like number 9 and number 30 in the Giants system, something like that. So this was a good trade for the Cubs because, again, they're just pocketing prospects, the Cubs are. So this is definitely a good move for the San Francisco Giants, mainly because they have had a revolving door in left field. This makes Kris Bryant right now a third baseman until Evan Longoria comes back. Then they'll move Kris Bryant out to left field. He is a all-star. He is a home run hitter. He can hit for power. He can hit for contact. This guy is a good player. Kris Bryant's a great player. So the Cubs and Giants both benefited from this. I'm going to give this an A as well. This is a good move. Obviously, Kris Bryant is a rental, so if the Giants can re-sign him, this is an even better deal. I'll call it an A-plus deal. If, again, going back to the Dodgers, if the Dodgers re-signed Max Scherzer, it would be an A-plus deal. we'll see if that actually happens. I know that they're saying it have to, for the trade to happen, would have to do an extension, but that remains to be seen at this point. All right, so the next trade, Toronto Blue Jays receive Joakim Soria from the Diamondbacks for a player to be named later. I don't know. Joakim Soria, for me, he's just been a slightly above average reliever the last 4 years. He is nothing spectacular. He is a decent pitcher with decent velocity, it's like a B. He's like a B rated player for everything. So I think this is a decent trade for both teams, mainly because Toronto needed a little bit of bullpen help, and maybe they'll strike gold with this guy. So I'm gonna give this I'll give this a C plus. This is a C plus trade. The Atlanta Braves receive Richard Rodriguez from the Pittsburgh Pirates for Bryce Wilson and Ricky DeVito. So in this one, the Braves needed relief pitching help. 100% they needed relief pitching help. They were, with Minter and Smith not being all that great this year, Richard Rodriguez is going to provide a little bit of balance in that back end of that bullpen. I give this a B minus for the Atlanta Braves, because Richard Rodriguez, he's above average reliever, but I think giving up 2 minor league pitchers for 1 major league ready pitcher, that's a hard one to swallow, in my opinion. So I'm going to give this a B minus. The San Diego Padres received Jake Marisnick for Chicago Cubs Anderson Espinoza. The Cubs were on a fire sale. If it only took a relief pitcher, Anderson Espinoza for Jake Marisnick, the Padres obviously stole this one. For the Padres, this was an A deal. For the Cubs, I don't think this is an A deal. I think this was a C plus deal. They could have gotten more from the Padres. I know the Padres system is pretty depleted now. I think they're ranked 19th or 20th on the prospect list in Major League Baseball, so their farm system is pretty much dry. The Mets received Javier Baez and Trevor Williams from the Chicago Cubs for outfielder Peter Crow Armstrong. So Baez and Trevor Williams being the big pieces that is needed for a good run here at the end of the year. The Giants and Dodgers are going to play the Mets back-to-back for 12 games or something like that. It's something crazy. There's 2 4-game sets and 2 3-game sets. So there's something crazy with the amount of time that the Mets needed relief pitching, and they needed another hitter, especially with Lindor down. I'm going to give this an A move for the Mets, and for the Cubs, I'm going to give this a B move. That's just my opinion. I think they needed more. They got 1 player in return for giving up 2 players. Again, the fire sale of the Chicago Cubs. The St. Louis Cardinals received John Lester for outfielder Lane Thomas. Okay, so the other team that's going for the fire sale, the Washington Nationals. Lane Thomas, I don't know much about this guy. I honestly don't even know if he's Major League ready. I have no idea what this guy's all about. But regardless, the St. Louis Cardinals is going to fortify that starting rotation with John Lester, who, he's been an average pitcher this year. I think he's been up and down with injury. He's been all right, but he's a 3-time World Series champion. You cannot go wrong with postseason success. You can't mess with that. So I'm going to give this deal a B for both teams. I think this is a good deal for both teams. The Nationals obviously dumping salary and getting rid of players. Okay, the Cardinals receive J.A. Happ and cash from the Minnesota Twins for John Gant and Evan Sisk. So I thought John Gant was doing pretty good, honestly, in my opinion. So I'm surprised they gave him up for an older, this is an older pitcher he's like a John Lester. I think he's been in the league 15 years, something like that. So other than that, another left-hand pitcher who is on the end, he's a starter. He's on the end of his career. I'm going to give this a B minus for both teams. I think that the Minnesota Twins got John Gant. That's a good move. Evan Sisk, I don't know anything about Evan Sisk, but J.A. Happ, I do know a little bit about, and cash. They got a little bit of payroll relief, and they gave up 2 relievers. Not bad for both teams, but I'm going to give it a B. The Oakland Athletics received Yan Gomes and Josh Harrison and cash from the Washington Nationals for Drew Millas, Richard Gauch, and Seth Schumann. I don't know anything about any of these players. I don't know anything about them, but I do know that the Oakland Athletics got deeper. So them being deeper is going to be a big deal going forward, especially because the Oakland Athletics have to compete with the Houston Astros. I really do believe the Astros are not going to win this division. I just, for whatever reason, I'm putting it out there into the ether that the Astros will not win and that the Oakland Athletics will win the division. I really hope that happens, but remains to be seen. I think receiving Yan Gomes and Josh Harrison will help with that. The Philadelphia Phillies received Kyle Gibson and Ian Kennedy and Hans Kraus and cash from the Texas Rangers for Spencer Howard, Kevin Gowdy, and Josh Jens. I have no idea. How do you say that? Does anyone know how to say that? I've obviously never seen that name until this trade deadline. So I think this is a big move for both teams. The Texas Rangers get Spencer Howard. That guy was almost untouchable last year. He was one of those guys that the Phillies were not going to get rid of, but the Phillies are making a huge push. They think they can win the division. Right now, they're only 2.5 games out. So with Kyle Gibson and Ian Kennedy, that's a huge move. This is an A move for the Philadelphia Phillies and an A move for the Texas Rangers. Good move. The New York Yankees received Andrew Heaney and cash from the Angels for Jansen Junk and Elvis Peguero. Okay, so the Angels are starting to stockpile relief pitching. They did give up a starter for a couple of pitchers here, but they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're starting to acquire more pitching prospects, and this may eventually give the Angels at least some sort of competitive nature outside of Ohtani and Trout. I'm going to give this a B+. This is a B+ trade for both teams. The Atlanta Braves receive Jorge Soler for right-hand pitcher Casey Kalich. This is an A+ move for the Atlanta Braves. They basically had no outfield. After Acuna got hurt, they had no outfield. Okay, this was an A+ move for the Braves. I think this is a B+ move for the Kansas City Royals. But here we go. I think that this is a very good move for the Atlanta Braves. The White Sox receive the best pitcher on the market other than Max Scherzer, Craig Kimbrell, for second baseman Nick Madrigal and Cody Heuer. So I think this is an A+ move for the White Sox and an A+ move for the Cubs. Nick Madrigal is one of the best second basemen in the game today. I definitely see that this was their way of replacing Javi Baez. They might shift him to shortstop, who knows. But regardless, this was a good move for both teams. They're crosstown rivals / trade partners. They always seem to have a trade with each other. So hopefully Craig Kimbrell does a great job for the White Sox. I think the White Sox are definitely the World Series favorites in the American League now. I do think that their bullpen and their offense is going to be better than the Houston Astros. But again, that's just my opinion. The Milwaukee Brewers received Daniel Norris from the Detroit Tigers for Reese Olson. This is a C move. Daniel Norris, we'll see what I feel like there might be a little lightning in a bottle. He's had a bad year. Lightning in a bottle, they're trying it. Reese Olson is a prospect going to Detroit. Detroit stocked up a little bit. So let's see what happens here. It's a C, B+ C move, somewhere in there. Milwaukee Brewers receive John Curtis from the Miami Marlins for catcher Peyton Henry. Again, the Brewers starting to stock up on relief pitching because or not relief pitching, just pitching in general, because they're trying to make a run here. They're trying to compete with teams like the Giants and the Dodgers, and that's really what the National League, the narrative of the National League is either win a division with like the AL East with the Braves, the Phillies, and the Mets. They're trying to just get people into the division, make the division stronger because the division is crap right now. And try and make their teams better for a push to win the division. Because whoever wins that division is going to the playoffs, and whoever's second is not getting in. Let's be real here. The wild card is going to go to someone in the NL West unless the Cincinnati Reds make a push. I think for both teams here, this is a C+, B- move. The Philadelphia Phillies receive shortstop Freddie Galvis from the Baltimore Orioles for Tyler Birch. This is a B+ move. This is a good B+ move for both teams. Galvis is a little bit older, 31 years old. He's an above-average player, above-average shortstop. So I give this a B+ move. Red Sox receive Hansel Robles from the Minnesota Twins for Alex Scherf. I think this is a pretty easy, even swap. I'm going to give this a C+ move. Boston Red Sox receive Austin Davis, a pitcher from the Pittsburgh Pirates for Michael Chavis. Michael Chavis has kind of been one of those projects. He's been up and down. He's been hot one day, not hot the other day. I'm going to give this a C+ deal. The Giants receive Tony Watson from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim for pitchers Sam Selman, Irvin Armstrong, and Jose Marte. This is an A-plus move for the Angels, 100%. They got 3 pitching prospects to give up 1 pitcher who's been above average. He's been a good left-hand pitcher. He was a Dodger, he was a Giant, and then an Angel, and then back to the Giants. So Tony Watson is big at getting outs, specifically left-handed bat outs. This is literally, this move here is to compete with the Dodgers. The Atlanta Braves received Adam Duvall for catcher Alex Jackson. I think this is a pretty good move for both teams, even though these two are kind of rivals right now. I do think this is a good move, especially for the Braves. Again, fortifying that outfield. So this is an A move for the Braves. I think this is like a B-plus move for the Marlins. The Atlanta Braves received Eddie Rosario, an outfielder from Cleveland, for Pablo Sandoval. Pablo Sandoval project that ship sailed. He is like terrible this year for the Atlanta Braves. This is, again, a B-plus move for the Atlanta Braves and an F move for the Cleveland Indians. That's just definitely 100% it's the worst move. As soon as he was traded, they released him. So they literally traded him for nothing. They gave them Eddie Rosario. That was like, Sandoval could possibly re-sign with the Braves. I mean, how crazy would that be? Toronto Blue Jays receive Jose Barrios from the Minnesota Twins for Austin Martin, Simeon Woods Richardson. So I give this an A move for the Toronto Blue Jays and a C plus B minus move for the Twins. They did get a shortstop outfitter in Austin Martin and a relief pitcher, Simeon Woods Richardson. We don't know what's going to happen with that pitcher. And Jose Barrios had another year of control. So I think they could have got more from the Blue Jays. It took two prospects to get Barrios. I feel like they could have got more. The Tampa Bay Rays receive pitcher Sean Armstrong from the Baltimore Orioles for cash. This is an A-plus move for the Tampa Bay Rays, and probably this is going to turn into a good move for the Orioles because they are starving for cash. The Los Angeles Dodgers received Danny Duffy from the Kansas City Royals for a player to be named later. I think this is an A-plus move, a prospect for a pitcher. Pitcher's on the IL right now. He's not going to come back until September, so he's literally going to have 1 month to pitch for the Dodgers other than the postseason. So I think this is a good move for both teams. I think that the Royals get to, they get to move on from Danny Duffy and that project, and they get a player that'll be named later, whoever that player will be. The San Diego Padres received Daniel Hudson from the Washington Nationals for Mason Thompson and Jordan Barley. This is a good move for the Padres because their starting pitching is atrocious. I think their starting pitching ERA in July was like 5.8 or something like that. It was really high. So receiving a for sure playoff experienced pitcher in Daniel Hudson is a good move. For the Nationals, for 2 prospects for a World Series winner, Daniel Hudson, they give this a B for the Washington Nationals. The Red Sox received Kyle Schwarber from the Nationals for relief pitcher Aldo Ramirez. I think this is an A move for the Red Sox because Kyle Schwarber can hit lightning in a bottle and be hot as heck and have like 14 home runs in the postseason. This guy is incredibly strong, incredibly powerful. If you remember the 2016 World Series, the postseason, he was lights out that whole time. And then Aldo Ramirez, the Nationals are definitely stocking up on young players. So they're going to be good. But, if they pan out to be really, really good, remains to be seen. The New York Yankees received Anthony Rizzo from the Chicago Cubs for Alexander Vizcaino and Kevin Alcantara. So, again, this is going back to the same narrative the Cubs have been having the whole year. They're going to fire sale. A-plus for the Yankees because they needed a little bit of stability at first base. They needed another hitter. They needed a left-handed bat. Anthony Rizzo is a leadership guy. He is a big clubhouse guy. He's going to be perfect for that Yankees organization. But the Cubs received 2 players for probably, quite possibly, the greatest player ever developed in the Cubs system. I'm going to give him a C. Brad Hand was traded from the Washington Nationals to the Toronto Blue Jays for Riley Adams, a catcher. I'm going to give this a C for both sides because Brad Hand is a project. He has been giving up leads all year long. His curveball's not there, or his breaking ball's not there, and his fastball seems to be getting hit. So he might have been a product of the sticky substance the last couple of years. The White Sox received Ryan Tepera from the Cubs for Bailey Horn. And I'm going to give this a C for both sides. The White Sox received Cesar Hernandez from the Cleveland Indians for Connor Pilkington. I don't know who either one of these guys are, so I'm going to give it a C. The New York Yankees received Joey Gallo and Joely Rodriguez from the Texas Rangers for pitcher Glenn Otto, second baseman and shortstop Ezekiel Duran, second baseman and outfielder Trevor Hanover, and second baseman Josh Smith. A+ move for the Texas Rangers. They just got a huge haul of prospects into that system. And then the Yankees receive another strikeout or home run bat, which I don't know if it's a good move for them, but the pitching, Joely Rodriguez, is probably a good move. So I'm going to give this a B for the Yankees because I feel like Joey Gallo, although the guy can hit the ball 530 feet, he also strikes out quite often. All right, well, that does it from all the trades that happened. Now, there were some other things that happened, like the Dodgers traded for the Mets for Billy McKinney. The Braves got Jock Peterson from the Chicago Cubs. There are some other trades that happened that are going to prove to be pretty important. The Milwaukee Brewers got Willy Adames. There are some other trades. Eduardo Escobar from the Milwaukee Brewers, or from the Arizona Diamondbacks to the Milwaukee Brewers. That was a big move. So I do think that a lot of these moves were very good for both sides. Some of the no-namer ones, maybe not so much, but regardless, this was a very exciting trade deadline. I mean, the Chris Bryant trade with like literally minutes to spare, just insanely fun. So that's my take on the MLB trade deadline. Comment below on what you think that your team did. Did your team buy? Did your team sell? Did your team win a trade? Did they lose a trade? What did you think? Do you think I had the right grade for most of these? Some of these players I don't really know. I've just had to do a quick Google search. But other than that, like, you know, when it comes to minor leaguers, it's really hard to keep track of every single one of them. But with that being said, that does it for today, and we'll see you all again tomorrow.